Calisthenics is exciting, but can be a bit confusing when you're first starting out. Let's break down a few things you should know before starting calisthenics. Calisthenics is the art of denying gravity. You become a master of your own body weight. What's great about it is that anyone can start off with this by doing basics like the push-up, but you can progress and progress until you're able to do crazy things like doing pull-ups with just one arm. But how can you safely go from that entry-level progression all the way to these very complex ones? Here's a few things that you should remember as you're going throughout your journey. Basics are going to stay with you forever. Even if you feel like you're someone that can do more advanced movements, maintaining basics at the end of your workout as a burnout or just a general strength building set, or thinking about how you can incorporate what you learned from those basics into the advanced movements are critical. As someone that's currently working on a heavier weighted pull-up, I find that by taking off some of the weight at the end of the workout, I'm able to work on additional strength, conditioning, and just getting more controlled repetitions where I can then carry that over to my heavier pull-ups later. When you do something that's very challenging, you're going to give all of your effort and you might go out of form. So having rep after rep after rep in a solid form will allow your body to then remember how it should perform when things get a little bit challenging. This will lead to less injuries and allow me to keep slowly progressing forward and eventually hitting my goals. Make sure that you incorporate these basics into your session so that way you can keep a steady curve upward. The second thing you want to do is to make sure you prioritize your training strategically and efficiently. When you first start off calisthenics, there's amazing different skills that you might want to be able to learn, but unfortunately, there's just too many and you won't be able to effectively learn them all at the same time. So let's go over a few examples of how you can strategically progress forward. So let's say you want to learn 5 different skills. You want to do weighted pull-ups, muscle-ups, pistol squats, the one-arm pull-up, and the handstand. How would you go about building your training around this? Well, first we need to think about what categories these each fall into. You have the handstand, which is more of a pushing movement. You have the pistol squat, which is a leg movement. And then you have 3 different pulling exercises with the weighted pull-up, the muscle-up, and the one-arm pull-up. For our pushing movements, we can do the handstand either every day, since it's not overly going through a dynamic movement, we're just pushing the ground away, or we can dedicate that on our push day, alongside other exercises like push-ups and pike press to build up additional strength. And for our leg day, we can do pistol squats, seated pistol squats, and regular body weight squats in order to build up strength, so that way we can progress towards that goal. But it gets a bit more fuzzy when we look at the pulling movement. We have 3 different goals. Luckily, all these are a bit synergistic as they are pull-ups, so progressing on one is going to build strength towards the others. So we really need to think about what could give us the most bang for our buck at the start, and think about what is going to be the hardest to learn. Clearly the hardest to learn is going to be the one-arm pull-up. You would need to have a weighted pull-up of almost 80% of your body weight plus in order to do it, so that is one that's going to have to be on the back burner until you build up stronger pulling strength. So you can still progress towards it with these other progressions, but for now, the dedicated focus for it might want to be a bit on the back burner. Now you could always do assisted one-arm pull-ups on the side, but for most people you want to start off with the weighted pull-up or the muscle-up. Between these two, it really just comes down to would you rather try to be more explosive in the muscle-up or get the basics with the weighted pull-up. The weighted pull-up is usually easier to get into, and you can incrementally add small amounts of weight onto it over time to build strength. So in general, I would recommend going with the weighted pull-up, and once you've added on some weight and kind of getting bored of it, then change it up and go into the muscle-up, and then go back to weighted pull-ups to build up more and more until you're comfortable and can start one-arm pull-up training. Ultimately, your body can only do too much, so you need to make sure that you balance out your training so that way you're able to recover and keep progressing forward and not overdo it and risk injury or do so much that you're not able to get any progress whatsoever. So you need to find the best balance, and you can always look to additional videos on my channel or otherwise on YouTube in order to build a program that will work best for you. Lastly, you just need to understand that there are going to be massive jumps between some progressions. While doing weighted pull-ups, you can easily add on 2.5 pounds to 5 pounds and make progression slow and consistent that way. Other skills might be a bit more challenging. One that comes to mind is obviously the one-arm pull-up. Jumping from a pull-up to an assisted one-arm pull-up is challenging, and then getting rid of the band and going all the way up to the regular one-arm pull-up can seem impossible, even those that are absolutely crushing their assisted one-arm pull-ups. So understanding that there might be certain progressions that you're going to need to spend more time in, and ones that you might be able to get that slow, gradual, steady progress is going to happen in your training, and you need to be okay with that. Gone are the days of just slowly implementing just, steady progress forward, but now you're going to have to make giant leaps in between certain progressions. You might have to have a large amount of volume with easier progressions and then struggle a bit with your harder progression at the start of your workout, but eventually you will get to your goal. You just need to stay consistent, don't get overly frustrated, and trust the process. So those are 3 things that I think you should know before you start calisthenics. If there's anything else you'd like to know or would like additional tips before you get started, let me know in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this content, make sure to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel. I do like to provide videos that allow for learning and understanding how to get better at different calisthenic skills, so follow along for the journey. Have a good one, everyone. Let's go crush our calisthenics journeys.